Hello, have you ever wondered which is better? I know you have. Studying Nigeria or studying abroad? What they don't tell you, I'm about to share it now. Welcome, my name is Twoyo and I love solving problems. Background about myself, I have a neuroscience degree from the University of Texas at San Antonio. I studied there for 4 years and I worked in the healthcare sector, the ER and in the research in San Antonio before I came back to Nigeria, and I'm studying medicine now at Bourne University, 500 level. So let's get right into it. What do you think happens in Nigerian medical schools versus abroad? Now, the first thing that I hear people say a lot is something that really upsets me at times. They say that studying in Nigeria is a lot harder than studying abroad because they are talking about the fact that, in Nigeria, you can see shege from your lecturers. Like you say, okay, this lecturer, you don't know what they want. They can just set all kinds of questions and it's so complicated and things like that. So there, it's going to be so easy, right? Like everybody cares and your life is going to be easy. Like anyone that comes to Nigeria, anyone that goes abroad, they always do well in their academics. Well, I do not agree with that statement because what really happens there is that many classes are easy, that's the truth. And I have been in a class, a physics class, that the lecturer literally gave us the questions for the examination. He gave us all the questions. He actually used a projector and I was like, okay, these are the questions I'm going to ask you in physics. Please don't mess this up. Give us the questions, showed us how to solve the questions. And guess what? In the examination, he brought out those same questions. Now, that part is true. But other aspects like biochemistry, for example, the first time in my life that I failed an exam was biochemistry in San Antonio. I got the question paper and I got my scripts back a few days later. It was MCQ. And I saw the score was 32. I'm like, oh, okay, over 50, right? It said over 100. I was like, oh boy, this one is tough. I've never in my life failed a course before that. It was a test. So in my whole heart, I was like, okay, so what can I do now? So in that class, the second exam, I think I had a 60%. I was like, okay, I really think I can push myself up. But then this is the beautiful part. The teacher in the final exam, what he said was that, hey, if you get an A in the final examination, it's going to be your final grade. But if you don't, basically he said that your best grade is going to take the accumulation of your semester grades, or he takes the final, whichever one is better for you. So in my mind, me that had an F in my first examination, I'm like, bro, I need to get an A in the final. So I read like I'd never read before. Biochemistry became my all-in-one. I read the entire textbooks. I was jotting. I went to study sessions. Oh, that's the next point I want to tell you, by the way. Study sessions. Study sessions in Nigeria versus studying abroad. You might hear, oh, you might have more resources, but the reality about studying abroad is that nobody cares about you. Like, I did not understand the concept of studying with people while I studied in San Antonio. Like, I look back in my 4 years and I can really count the number of times I had a study session. And it was one. It was for that biochemistry examination. I went to the library because students they go to this place, it's called a tutorial session. So their library has tutors. They are like master students, PhD students who want to make an extra amount of money on the side. So they go and teach in the library. So I could carry my writing assignment in English and I'll take it to them and they will help me edit it, make it better, tell me what to do and I'll edit it and I'll send it back to them and like that. So the only time I had a study session with people was in that library for biochemistry. After that, oh yeah, and apart from that, oh yeah, we did have study sessions. Now that I think about it, yeah, we did. So, okay, let me tell you how this whole story. They are called SIs. They are called supplemental instructors. And this is a concept that is very foreign to study in Nigeria. In Nigeria, you have study groups, right? You just pick your friends and all of you, because you're studying the same thing, you go into this group and you together go and study the material, pick a time, do past questions. But there, you have this cool program called supplemental instructors. With the SIs, who they are is that there's the students who has taken the class before. Let's say I go through a class and I have an A in the class or a very high B, a B+. So I can register to be a supplemental instructor where I will get paid. And my job is that, okay, since I've passed this course, I will come back in the next semester and I will take the course again with you. I will take notes like you are a student. I will take my own notes and together we'll take the class. And every week I have a session, maybe Mondays at 2 to 3 p.m. They will ask the question, what time are you free? So maybe Monday 2 to 3 p.m., another session, maybe Wednesday 2 to 3, and maybe Friday 5 to 7 p.m. So they set up different time slots for their sessions during this semester so that students in the class can go to the SI meetings and talk. So for example, now I meet up with my classmates in the SI session, we have group discussions. The second day, those who couldn't make it to the first class because they had another class will come to these sessions, or people came again the second session, group discussions, you have group talks, you have a whiteboard in the library because you have study rooms that you can go and write on the wall and everything like that. Then at the end of the day, those who really come for the study sessions, they gain the most from the class. And the fun fact is that sometimes some lecturers actually give the SIs some questions that are going to come out in the examination. So it's in your own best interest to do that. So in a regard, yeah, I think that's better studying abroad than Nigeria, because here you work with your teammates. But I would say collaboration is better here, because here you choose your group members, you choose people that you want to study with. If you say you want to study alone here, bruh, good luck to you, because it's not likely going to yield good results. And if you're doing that, stop it. Find a group of people who are better than you, who you can also sharpen, and start studying with them. So another aspect, by the way, in a few minutes at the end of the video, I'll tell you why I got put on the bomb threat list. Yeah, it happened. But I'll tell you at the end of the video. So what some people also say about studying abroad is that, it's easier to study abroad. You can do whatever you want. You can work. And I agree with that, because when you study abroad, the class schedules are not as demanding, at least. I can say this, in medical school here in Nigeria, you can work. If you're not in a private school like Bowen University, if you're in like Lautech, you can get a job outside, go to classes and work. It's going to be tight on your schedule. And like any other school, you can actually work. But there, it's actually expected to work. Most people work. So they have jobs that they go to and they come back, because most of them are paying for school by themselves. Here, usually your parents pay for it if you are privileged enough to have parents that pay for it, or your guardians. But of course, we do have students who have to pay for their own school by themselves, and they end up paying for the entire thing by themselves. So they work while they're in school. So that's also a thing. So what are my thoughts about studying in Nigeria versus studying abroad? One thing about it is the expenses. And I can actually tell you that it might be cheaper to study abroad than to study in Nigeria. Let me tell you what I mean. You get scholarship options. Sometimes you get scholarships. Sometimes you get opportunities. They are rare, but sometimes I got to a point in my schooling that in my final semester of schooling, I worked as a resident assistant, which means I was in charge of a building of people, and I got to take care of them. Like I was a hostel rep. Basically, I was the hall manager. I was the one talking with the staff. I was in leasing. I used to call people to come and sign a lease with us to stay there. I used to solve problems with the plumbing, but it was a big staff, so I did a lot of that stuff. So I got my housing for free. And in that last semester, school paid me to go to school. I'm serious. Like, when you looked at my school fees that year, instead of saying minus, you're owing this number of thousands of dollars, my school fees was plus, I can't tell you the amount now, plus some amount. Basically, school paid me like thousands of dollars to go to school. So they literally sent me the money to my account at the end of that. Does that happen always? No. Was that the net sum of my experience? No. I paid more than I was paid, but still, if you are good, you can get scholarship options, you can get grants, you can get opportunities to expand your horizon. So how do I end this video? I'll tell you that if you want to study abroad, it's okay. It's a good experience, and if you get the opportunity, take it. But what I want you to realize is that in Nigeria, there are problems, right? Everywhere you see problems, and the first instinct I know for myself and many people around me is to run. You're like, oh, there's a problem here, so therefore let me go to another person's country. Let me go there and probably my problems will not exist. But I encountered all sorts of problems there that I never thought about. Racism was there, loneliness was there, and a host of subtleties that I couldn't fit into the classrooms sometimes. At the first year, I struggled because I would say something and everybody would like ignore me, I don't know why, my accent or what, they would just ignore me and they would just behave like I didn't exist. And I struggle with self-identity. I'm like, okay, is it that I'm dumb? Like, why is it that whenever I tell them, okay, this is what we are doing, like, nobody listens to me? But, and I, like, example, if we have a group session with the class and the teacher says, okay, all of you must answer this question. What's your answer? A, B, C, D. And I'm like, the answer is C. And everybody's like, nah, I'm going to pick D. And it ends up being C. I'm like, well, is it that you guys don't trust me or something? But I learned in that experience that I need to be firm in my own identity, who I am. I'm a child of God. I'm firm in who I am supposed to be. I'm beautiful. I'm handsome. I'm intelligent. I love God and I fear Him and my life is set on His ways. So once I understood that, I did not derive my identity from what they said about me. My identity started being about who I was in Christ, and eventually they started following along with me and they're like, oh, what's the answer? Can you help us out? So just before I end this, I have to tell you the story of how I got in trouble and how I got on the bomb threat list. So I played saxophone at this church. It was an Assemblies of God church. And we had a class. It was a Wednesday. We were going for Wednesday service. So we had a class in the morning. So my plan was that I would go to class. And my classmate also goes to church. So I just hitch a ride with her. She drives her car and then we go to church for the service and then I come back. So me now, I'm like, okay, I don't want to carry my instrument to class. I don't know why, because there you can actually carry anything. You can carry a dog to class and nobody cares. But I was like, let me not carry my instrument to class. So I went to the basement, parked my bicycle by a staircase, locked it, and I hid my saxophone bag in between the staircase in a place I thought nobody was going to see it. Like, okay, hopefully it doesn't get stolen. At the end of class, I just come back and I pick it up. I'm like, yeah, everything's right. Until I go back and I did not find my saxophone. That day, it's like I wanted to I was like, my head was spinning, like, God, what is happening? So I looked everywhere. I couldn't find it. I was like, what the heck is happening right now? And eventually, someone told me I should go by to the police station on campus. I was like, okay. They lost and found and asked them if they found anything there. So after a few hours, I went to the police station. I'm like, hey, so I'm looking for a saxophone. And they were like, come in here, come. They're like, come. Do you by any chance, where did you leave it? I was like, I left it on that staircase. And they were like, come closer. Do you realize that a dispatcher was called about that and they initiated a full bomb threats check, and they brought people to literally come to make sure that that bag wasn't an explosive and delicately extracted from that location. I was like, sorry. So they opened the bag with me and eventually they let me go. But needless to say, after that day, I became friends with the police officers because they're like, hey, you're the bomb guy, right? I was like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. So that's my experience. Do I recommend studying abroad? I do, but not for the reasons you think. Not every solution to your problem is studying abroad. You learn a lot from studying in Nigeria. Like, it's more challenging mentally. You have to like walk around so many loopholes, but eventually you get it done, right? Eventually you get the steps taken care of and you get to your goals. So if you get a chance to study abroad, take it, grow and explore. I got to do research. I got to travel. I got to play at multiple events. My instrument, my craft improved. My saxophone skills grew better. But also coming back home, I realized that sometimes in Nigeria, what it's really about is projecting yourself. Telling the world, this is who I am, this is what I can do, and this is how I do it. I hope this helped a bit. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Share this with somebody who is interested in going abroad, who is abroad, or who might have a similar experience. Okay. Thank you, and watch the other video if you haven't. That video talks about why I left America in the first place. It's a nice video that gives more insight into exactly what we're talking about here. Okay, stay blessed, stay safe, stay amazing, and catch you next time. Peace out.